pass things over to our founder in residence, Tanya Morris.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of OnRamp. We have gotten off to a stellar start to this cohort. I am so excited to be a part of this. And today we have one of my favorite people presenting today, and just a tremendous brand strategist. And I know some of you, are into your brand. You have your brand identity, but I think PJ can really bring some new ideas, some creative strategies along for you to continue to build on your brand as we move forward. Next week we will have CGM Philly. They will be talking about your business structure. They're going to also look at some things around trademarking and IP and those important contents of really building on your brand. When I first started Mom Your Business, the first thing that I did was get Mom Your Business trademark, because I understood the value of that identity moving forward. So it's going to be good to hear from CGM Philly, talk about the structuring, the benefits of an LLC versus an S and a C Corp and all that kind of stuff, as well as looking at trademark and intellectual property and things of that nature. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to belabor the point anymore. We are in the middle of Ed Tech Week, so that's I think one of the reasons we have a more succinct and tighter group this session. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to PJ Owens from Muse Branding. Sir, you are up to bat. I got my notepad ready. I'm ready to go.
This is awesome. First of all, let me just start off by saying I am really excited about being here with you guys on this afternoon. I guess we can still say it's afternoon, early evening. I want to thank Tanya so much for giving me the opportunity just to share with you all. I love all things branding, all things content, all things just dope people doing dope things, okay? I am a really fun person. I love interaction. I love responses. So please feel free to ask questions, engage. This particular session that I want to do today is specifically about making sure that we have good content. We live in such a heavy content driven time period. No matter where we look, we are consuming content, from the supermarket standing in line, bagging our groceries, to the TV, to Netflix, to everywhere you look. It's just great content, right? So I want to make sure that we all understand how to develop good content. And even if you already develop amazing content, there is always room to grow. There's always room to just be better, right? So this is a content crash course, so to speak. That's what we're going to talk about today, okay? And again, if you have any questions or if you want to stop me anywhere in the presentation, please let me know. I have some, okay, first disclaimer, I make up words. So if I make up any words, just smile and nod. Like, did he know that he said that? I definitely do. I made it up. So we have some screen shareables, some downloadables, all of that stuff throughout the presentation. So feel free to screenshot it and use it. I want this to be really useful for your businesses, whether you have a personal brand or luxury brand, whatever it is. I want this to be useful information. Okay, thumbs up for me. Thumbs up. Are we good? We good. Okay. Now let's see. We're going to share this screen. Hold on. I was all zoomed out, but now we got to get back with the Zoom, because, yeah, it's crazy out here. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if this works. Can you guys see my screen? Hey, that was real easy. Okay. Now I think I should probably... And I talk with the accent sometimes too, don't mind me. Let's see where this is. I wanted to make it view full screen. We good? There we go. Okay. All right. So again, my name is PJ Owens. My company is Muse Branding and Development Agency, where we live to create and we create to inspire. I am a creative director, brand strategist, and content curator. Those are just 3 things. Sometimes it's so hard when you are a multi-creative. It is difficult to put everything you do into titles and, into some structure. So just to make it easy for the sake of this conversation, I am a creative director, a brand strategist, and content curator. And I really hope that you guys can join me on social media. Again, I love to have fun. I love to laugh. If you come to my page, it will not just be business. You're going to laugh. You're going to feel good. I'm all about inspiring you and motivating you to just be your best self. Okay. So let's see. All right. Do me a favor and put this in your notes. My brand will outlive me. Okay, I'm a believer in affirmations. My brand will outlive me. It does not stop when you stop. Okay, my brand will outlive me. And even if y'all want to put it in the chat, that's good too. I'm again a believer of affirmations and just believe that once we all do some things collectively, we can make some things happen for ourselves. Okay, my brand will outlive me. So again, my name is PJ Owens, creative director, brand strategist, and content curator. I love connecting with beautiful people and I love creating beautiful things. Okay, I was born and raised in North Philadelphia. I graduated from the University of the Arts with my bachelor's of science in communications. Why? Because my goal is television. That's where I want to be. Okay, so I went to school for communications to be able to help advertising and TV and radio, all of that good stuff. Okay, PJ, what is it that you do when you hear all of these titles? Sometimes you just have no idea what they are, right? So in short, I frame the way that your brand connects with your audience, and I do that through branding, design, educational opportunities, and media. Okay, again, I frame the way that your brand connects with your audience, and I do that through the means of branding and design, educational opportunities, and media. I am also a singer and songwriter. And last but not least, I am obsessed with large brim fedoras. I love hats. So 9 times out of 10, if you see me, I'm gonna have on a large hat. Okay, that's just some fun facts about PJ. So let's move on. So the objective of this crash course is for us to pivot our thinking about the content that we produce. It's not just about well-crafted marketing collateral, okay? We love pretty stuff, but it's not just about pretty. It needs to be functional. Good content organically connects with your audience across several platforms to enhance your brand and customer experiences, okay? That's what this course or crash course session, whatever y'all want to call it, that's what this is about, okay? So let's lay some foundation. I'm a believer in laying foundation so that we can, again, understand where we're going and just like a navigation system. So let's lay some foundation. Branding. This is such a robust term these days, okay? We hear the word brand and branding so much, and some people think that branding is just your website. Some people think that branding is just your marketing collateral that you put out in media and that you pass out at events and vending opportunities. All of those are brand elements, but in its most simplest form, branding is the packaging of a person, place, thing, or idea. Okay? Branding is the packaging of a person, place, thing, or idea and creating a lifetime of impactful recognition, not to be confused with marketing, okay? Marketing is selling what you just packaged. So you cannot effectively market what you haven't properly branded, okay? I'm gonna say that again. Branding and marketing is two different things. Branding is the packaging of a person, place, thing, or idea, and marketing is selling what you just packaged, okay? So you can't sell something if it's not branded properly, all right? Make sure we understand that. Your target audience, my next point, okay? Target audience. Those individuals who need what you possess, okay? Target audience, those individuals who need what you possess. A lot of times we don't see significant return in our businesses simply because we are marketing to the wrong people, right? If I know that my target is business owners, right? Startups, there's no way that I should be marketing to stay-at-home moms, in a sense. Get what I'm saying? So your target audience, those individuals who need what you possess, and you can have more than one target audience, and I'll show you how. So my target audience, my first TA, my TA1, businesses, established and startups, okay? My TA2, ministries. I have a lot of faith-based clients. TA3, fashion and beauty brands. TA4, entertainment and performing artists. Why is it important to know all of this? Because now I know how to brand, and then I will know how to sell. The way that I sell to my fashion and beauty brands is not the same way that I would probably sell to a ministry or faith-based brand. So it is very important to know your target audience and know their actions, where they shop, what are their hobbies, who they hang around, what they like to do, their activities, what are their problems, so that you can be the best possible solution. It is very important for us to know our target audience. Again, those individuals who need what you possess. All right.
PJ, can I interrupt you real quick? Are your slides supposed to be moving?
No, they're moving.
No, they're not. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because we're still on the cover page.
Oh no, I'm on the third page.
Okay. You may need
Okay.
to make an adjustment.
Hold on. I'm glad you stopped me. I was going too. Hold on. Let me exit out of full page. What do you see now?
We see the cover slide.
Still.
Yeah. Are you using PowerPoint?
No, this is preview. Like this, it's preview, like it's on my actual screen.
Oh, okay. So I think what you might want to do is unshare and then reshare to just show what's on your screen, because you might just be sharing the one window.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let's try this again. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, screen share.
DJ, what do you have? A PowerPoint or a PDF?
Yes, this is a PDF.
Okay, yes. So you're gonna have to open it up as a PDF.
Let's see. Let me know if this works this time. Now, you still see the same page?
Yeah, but you can now. You good? You good now?
I'm moving now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it here. I'm gonna keep. I won't go in full. I won't go back to full. We're good? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, target audience. Okay, so again, target audience, those individuals who need what you possess. And it's very important for the content that we create. A lot of times we just go on websites, we try to find designers, we try to find, brand strategists to create beautiful things. That's fine. But again, it is important to know who we are talking to, know who we are selling to, and know who we are marketing to. Now, this is one of those screenshotable moments I was telling you about. Okay, so get your phones out, even if you want to screenshot it on your phones, your tablets, your computers. This is a cheat sheet, okay? This is a cheat sheet, your content cheat sheet, and it has almost every single thing that you can do concerning your content and where it can live, okay? Video distribution, all your YouTube, Snapchat, all of that stuff, social media, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Now we have TikTok. It's always something new, right? It's always something new that just comes out of nowhere. Your crowdfunding sites, your Kickstarter, right? Your online advertising, your social media ads, your Google ads. Then you have your online publicity, podcasts, your online press, bloggers, contests, right? Email marketing. Then you have your company, your actual company website that you can house your blogs there, your written content, all of the things that make you, all of your unique selling points you can house on your company website. So again, I don't want to go too in depth with this diagram, but please screenshot this, put it in your notes, and I guarantee you it'll help you in the long run, okay? Now, just the commercial. Stop measuring your success based off of your social media followers. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Stop basing your success or measuring your success based off of your social media followers. I learned this the hard way. And there was a point about 5 years ago, I was just adamant about just getting followers and followers. And it was so many gurus saying, once you have a certain amount of followers, you'll get the attention and you'll get all of that. That has its place, right? But there were billion-dollar businesses before social media. So that tells me that social media is an added component that can make your business greater, but that doesn't mean that you're not great because you don't have 40 and 60K followers on social media. There are times when certain brands might have 5,000 followers, right? And they will see a better conversion rate than the company that has 20,000 followers. Why? Because you're not engaging with 20,000 people every day. So I'd rather have 5,000 followers and have 4,000 actually participate in what I do, actually buy into my offers, actually participate in what I have to bring to the table, versus 20K and 50 people will buy into my offers. But we're still busy looking at the number on this, our social media followers. It's a distraction, okay? So stop measuring your success based off of your social media followers. Think of it this way. You rather be impactful, okay? Be impactful with whatever audience that you have. Be impactful and build brand loyalty, because then they will trust whatever it is that you put out. All right? Be innovative, be authentic, and be you. All right? And I didn't even realize I had on the B color today, but it just worked out, right? Just worked out. We're moving on.
PJ, can I add something to that?
Sure thing.
So let me add, I want to add something. I want to echo that actually, because for the majority of my career in nonprofit, I was a outreach marketing specialist. So I'm an old school guru, guerrilla marketing type of person. So when you said that you got caught up in that, I think I got caught up in that too, when I know that the strength of what I do is outreach marketing, right? Is going out and doing events and being, flyers and email campaigns and all of those other things. And a lot of and what I found was that those were generating, and doing live podcast events, those were generating more responses and more people buying into what we were doing than the social media stuff ever has.
Right. Absolutely. And I think, again, it goes into knowing who you are marketing to. There are some people that just simply appreciate physical contact, physical touch. They still like to have the old school method of marketing. And I think that's fine. I think it all has its place. And I think we should all exercise every single element that we can for our businesses to thrive and to grow. If it means that we're going to print out a small order of promotional materials, promotional items, and let's do that. And let's hit the street, even if you want to do like a 70-30 campaign where 70% of your time is spent for digital sales and for social media, but don't forget that 30, because that 30 might have one person that can fund your entire campaign. Okay, so let's make sure that we're just being smart in the way that we are doing things and not just falling into a trend. Trends fade away. Okay, trends simply fade away. But when you find something that is core for you, when you find something that is classic for you, it will stand the test of time. I promise you. Okay, so these are 5 key content points for social media, for content in general. Okay, 5 key content points for social media Sorry. First point, intentionality. Okay. Be intentional about what you post and how you respond. Be intentional about what you post and how you respond. Show up good and engage. Okay? Again, be intentional about what you post and how you respond. I am a firm believer in planning content. You got to plan your content because it will make your life easier. How many of you woke up one morning, it's like, you know what, I didn't post in the past couple of days. What am I going to post today? And we just trying to figure out something to post. So it'll randomly be a picture of our dog. It'll randomly be the food we ate the night before, right? And it's like, this has absolutely nothing to do with your business, right? And then we're complaining about not having sales. That's because we're not being intentional about what we post. If we take some time to really structure our offers and then structure posts that feed our offers, you will see results. Okay? And show up good. A lot of people show up, but we're not showing up good. Can we just be honest? You got to show up good. Good meaning that people are automatically sharing what you're putting up, right? Good content lives on its own. And that's the truth. And you also have to engage. You can't just post and have people respond to your content and, you know, they're resharing your stuff, but then you don't reciprocate that. That's not fair. You got to show up good and engage. I think we have a question. Are we doing questions now or at the end?
That's up to you, PJ.
We can do it now because I don't want anybody to forget.
Go ahead, Jonah.
Hey, Jonah.
I'm sorry I'm late. It's Jonna. I had to figure out the login, but what you're talking about is so important as far as showing up, but also showing up good. I will show up, but then I will stop showing up because one, like you said, not having content that correlates to like other than a selfie.
Yes.
And then two, my responses, like well, people will put a fire sign or they will put like heart eyes or something like that. I really don't have much to say back to that. So I will like it or give them a prayer hand. But I heard Instagram also basically not shadow blocks you, but lowers your due to your responses. And it's like, I don't have nothing to say to you. What would you recommend when people comment little emojis and stuff and it's not really how would you respond to stuff that's fluff? I don't like fluff.
No, I agree. And I'm gonna tell you what worked for me. There are times if somebody sends me a heart eyes or a fist or something, there are times where I actually might send one back. I'm not even gonna hold you, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what worked for me. I started adding calls to actions in my posts.
Gotcha.
And what I mean is this. I might say, hi, how many of you guys need a community of people who are just like you? They're going through the same things that you're going through. How many of you guys need a community of people for specifically for millennial startups? Please comment what your issue is below, right? So now I'm giving them specific instructions for them to respond. And now that produces just greater dialogue.
Gotcha.
It produces conversation. A lot of times we don't tell people what to do. Sometimes people are just not thinking that way. You know, sometimes we put up something nice. We're like, okay, what they're going to say? And we're doing this Black Power fist. We like, that didn't land how I needed it to, right? So think about adding calls to actions in your posts and just being more specific and make every post that, should be a conversation because every post doesn't necessarily have to serve the same purpose, but make sure that those particular posts that you want to have greater conversation from, the topics, make sure that you're adding a call to action in those posts.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Plan your content and post 3 to 5 times a day if you can. Now,
I'm sorry, TPJ, I thought there was another hand. Was there another?
Oh, was it? I didn't see it. Okay.
Does someone else have a question?
Yes, hi, this is Yasmin.
Hi.
How you doing? I had more like a comment. Another thing that I've been finding out that's a little easier for me because sometimes I don't always have the right thing to say. And I want to know, what do you think about this? Sometimes I just like the post. Like, you know how you can just like tap on it and then you can it'll bring a heart. You just like it. So you don't necessarily have to give a response, but it still shows that you gave that person some attention.
Yes. So
it keep you in the game, should I say?
Yes, it does keep you in the game technically, but it does not create that brand connection that you probably want. So I would suggest at least saying something back.
Mm-hmm.
Say something versus just liking it. I'm gonna say the only time I like a post, like serial is like the only time I do that is like on my birthday. Before I go back to actually respond to, and to say thank you for thinking of me. And I'm just giving a funny example because, on your birthday, everybody say happy birthday. Just have people you ain't talked to since 2nd grade, right? And they just come out of nowhere saying happy birthday. So those are moments where I'll like it first, but I still go back to say something because you don't want your account to fall into that account where it's like, it's a ghost in a sense, or the like monster. You don't want that. So you want to make sure that you're saying something. It doesn't have to be a whole long thesis statement, but I do think that some kind of response, even if the person only responds with an emoji, to Jonna's point, say something. As the brand, I think it's our responsibility to say something, even if it's simply a thank you.
And just like a little slight interjection, what I was saying about commenting and going back and forth, Instagram tries to detect who's a bot or if you're using additional services. So if you're just liking it or just responding with an emoji, I think they lower your engagement or your span, because my numbers drop because I'm quick to give you a like and keep it moving. I don't have all the energy all the time. So yeah.
Yes, you gotta engage. You have to engage. And what'll also combat that whole bot thing, before you put up a post, right? About 10, 20 minutes before you put up a post, go and engage with other profiles. All right? Go engage with other profiles first, and then put up your post, and just see how things change. Okay, just to see how things change. Interact before you post. Go on somebody else's page. Go on the Explorer page. Go to profiles you don't even follow on Facebook and Instagram. I am not a big Twitter person. My business comes from Facebook and Instagram. But if you're on the Twitter and all of the rest of these 1,000 sites, the principle still remains the same. Okay, and if you can, try to post 3 to 5 times a day. If you can. That sounds like a lot. Yes, it does. But again, it shows engagement and it just works, y'all. There's nothing even deep about this. It works. It works. If you're trying to build your business online, a major social media presence, these people post often, but here's the difference. Post with what? Intention. Post with intention. Okay? I'll move on.
Oh, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Hi. Sorry, I've been trying to figure out how to raise my hand on this Zoom. I'm more of a Google Meets kind of gal.
Got it.
It's my first time here ever, and I love all this because I'm struggling the same. I offer translating services, and
Wow.
I've stumbled into being a Spanish teacher. So I'm doing that, and a lot of what I'm seeing in my industry colleagues, particularly for translating, is I see a lot of the same content. And I'm struggling with how to, like, I will sit down and like try to sit through and figure out how to post so many times and create content that is not going to fall into the same thing that everybody else is saying.
Yes.
I do have a lot of opinions. I do have a lot of information to provide naturally, because you don't want to throw out some information and then people fight or something, but you want it to be informative, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially for people who don't know anything about translating and what it goes into and translators. So how does one do that, posting so often, so that you don't fall in the same puddle as everybody else? Like, yeah, I saw a translator posting this, like 3 different translators saying the same thing, only with different brand colors, and it's kind of boring. Like,
yeah,
it should be exciting. I don't know.
Yeah,
it should be fun and interesting.
No, absolutely. And think of it from this perspective, because I totally understand what you're saying, because I think every industry deals with that, especially branding and graphics and stuff. It's about 45 brand developers on my timeline. I'm like, where did y'all even come from, right? So one thing that helped me was really taking the time to figure out, how can I intentionally make my content different, right? And what that means is this: if everybody is posting this thing, okay, that's fine, and it has its place. What problems aren't they addressing? Because that's what you need to post about. Okay, what problems? If they're all posting the same thing, they're missing out on a whole nother world of information. That's what you need to start posting. And we got to get out of that whole we're all doing the same thing mind frame. If you go down the bread aisle, there's Wonder Bread, there's Stroman Bread, it's Martin's. I like Martin's personally. I like potato bread. It's Martin's potato bread, it's pumpkin, it's all these brands of bread, right? All these different brand names, but they're all doing what? They're selling bread, right? What makes one more inviting over the next might be its packaging. It might be the way that they connect on social media. It might be the flavor or a distinct taste. So you have to stay busy so that you can find those unique personal traits that only your brand can provide. And sometimes that doesn't work with just stopping because everybody else is doing stuff. No, sometimes it comes as you're active. So I really would sit and think, okay, if they're all posting the same thing, it's more to talk about. Do the complete opposite. Do the complete opposite and just see how your content lives on. And never forget, your job as a brand is to provide the best possible solution for the problem. All right. So if you're constantly posting, okay, this is how many people have this issue with translation, or how many people find an issue, make that a question. That next post needs to be bomb solutions. Completely opposite of what your competitors are doing. So just worry about providing the solutions to all the problems that you know, because this is your industry. You know what's going on. I can't speak for you specifically, but I can give you general principles that will help you with this problem. I hope that helped.
It did. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. All right, I'm moving on to my next point. Understanding the need for each digital platform. Okay, understand the needs for each digital platform. Each platform, period, honestly. Sometimes the content that we post on Instagram, it might perform differently on Facebook, okay? So you have to test your audience. For instance, personally, I have two different audiences from Instagram and Facebook, and it's so weird because I'm like, I'm the same person. How is this possible, right? But it is a slight difference from my followers on Instagram than my followers on Facebook. And I think that's also due to when I started both platforms. I started Facebook when it was just for us college students, okay? Facebook was initially for college students. After a while, they started opening it up to the entire world, and that's what we have today. So audiences look different in a sense, but there are certain things that each platform needs, and there are certain things that are required. For instance, sizes for your graphics. Let's go from a visual perspective with this. Every single platform has different dimensions for your graphics. If you are working with a graphic designer or you're doing it yourself in Canva, right? Or app such of the sort, because sometimes you might not be able to afford a graphic designer to do such robust packages and stuff, no problem. Canva has all of these sizes within the platform, okay? Or sites like Fiverr, you might be able to find an inexpensive graphic designer to help you with all of your graphic needs, right? But if you go to a Facebook page on a computer and you have the Facebook banner on your page, that might be a complete different dimension than Facebook on your phone. Okay? So when somebody goes to your page and it's like your face cut off and all we see is your earring and one braid, they sitting there like, now what is happening here? Who's this person? Because they can't see you. Because the right dimension of the graphic is not on your profile, okay? So another downloadable moment, screenshotable moment. Get this, y'all. This is your image cheat sheet. All of the sizes for every single platform is here. Okay, I'm telling y'all, get it. I'm gonna just look down so y'all can see the details on this hat. Get it now. Okay, screenshot it because y'all need it. From Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of your sizes. This is the most updated cheat sheet. This is from last year. Okay, this is good for now. This will at least give you some kind of navigation when you are developing content for your brands. Do I have any questions? Did I see any hands?
Yeah, so PJ, I think the font on this is a little small.
It's small, okay.
Yeah, so if we make it big enough so that we can capture this, that would be great. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Let me see if I can do another one. There you go. Well, no, I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, get that one that way.
Yeah, that one there. Yeah, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
So this should help you all with everything. And again, even if you do your own graphics, it can be a little difficult. But if you do have a designer that you work with, give them this sheet. I guarantee they're going to be like, no, wait a minute. They know what they're talking about. They just can't give you any old thing. I care. Because sometimes people will give you just any old thing. Okay? Give them this sheet and say, you know what? I need 3 of these images for my Facebook profile. These are the images that I need, and this is the dimensions that I need it in. They like, whoa, say less. It'll help. You'll show up different, I guarantee you. Okay? Moving on. 3, the formula that works for visuals. We're going to stay here for a second. The formula that works for your visuals. Again, y'all, it's not just about beautiful stuff. It's not just about abstract stuff, because if somebody can't read it, they can't support. If it's too busy, they can't support. If it's not eye-catching, they can't support. They're going to keep scrolling. Think about it this way. What's going to allow somebody to stop as they are scrolling? If you are on social media, what is going to allow somebody to stop mid-scroll and say, oh, let me go back. That was beautiful. Oh, that was movement. What happened there, right? And actually going back to the young lady, the translator, going back to your point, I just had another idea. Incorporate more video and motion graphics. If other people are doing still images, day for that is over. Incorporate more motion graphics and video-based stuff, because people connect with humans, okay? All right, the formula for visuals. I can't stress this enough. High resolution images. High resolution images. High resolution images. This is not a selfie. This is not a selfie. And this is not a selfie. Okay? If you are a brand and you are a speaker, author, you provide a service, and you're often seen on flyers, or you go get a nice photo shoot done. Why? Because it says something about yourself. If you invest in yourself, other people will as well. Okay? High resolution images, relevant, simplified messaging. Figure out how to simplify what you need to say. People don't have long attention spans these days. You gotta hit it and quit it. That's what you gotta do, okay? Relevant, simplified messaging plus the psychology of color. Colors have meaning. Colors have meaning. You might, after this discussion, you might even want to go revisit your branding and your brand guidelines, honestly, and that's okay. But colors have meaning. Do not choose colors that are the complete opposite of what you provide, okay? 3 font. I have a 3 font rule when it comes to my design. Some people like to do 1. I like to do 3 just to keep it fun. Anything over 3, catastrophe, okay? 3, a headline font, boom, right? Complementary font, boom, underneath the headline font, and then the font that has your important information, how to get in contact with you, your website, your social media, all of that stuff. Your complementary font should be the most prettiest font of them all. Okay, if you want to get swirly and all of that stuff, that is fine. But the whole graphic should not have a lot of script on it. It shouldn't be distracting. It should not distract me from what you are trying to say. All right, I'm going to give you examples. Number 1, high resolution imaging. Can you guys see this? Okay. So this is, well, first of all, this is one of my models, Tia. I have my own clothing line, and this is one of my shirts, shameless but not so shameless plug. But if you look on the left, that image, while it looks nice, it's pixelated. I'll zoom in. It's pixelated. See that? Same image, pixelated. A lot of us are placing these type of images on our content. No, the right image, same image, but that is the high resolution image of the left. Now, I'm gonna tell you what a lot of us do. I'm gonna put my head down and say this. A lot of us take the images that our photographer gives us, the thumbnails, the images that aren't the final images, and we take them and use for promotional images without permission. I've seen it happen so many times. We'll have a shoot and the photographer says, well, you know what? You have 10 images in your package and you like, oh no, you sending me all of them. I'm gonna just download 20. Okay. Them other 10 is gonna look like the left when you enlarge it, okay? High resolution, crisp imaging, okay? That is what is important. And if you need free stock photos, pexels.com is a good resource for free stock imaging. Nappy.co is also a great resource as well. So check out those two websites for free stock images. All right. Simplified, well, relevant simplified messaging, call to actions, a tone of voice. Example, I could have did this next post with about 7 sentences, right? Simplified it. Hey, IG, it's the apparel for me. Click the link in the bio to view our full collection. And then my hashtags. That's it. That's all that's needed for that particular post. If you need to go more robust, that's fine. But there are times I have seen posts that literally look like chapters of books. Some people might say otherwise. People are not reading it. They're not reading it. Keep it simple and keep it powerful. Just like the Instagram quotes that we post. We repost them because they're simple and they have meaning, right? Psychology of color. Colors have meaning. We said that earlier. If you take a look to that box on your right, and I'll zoom in. So your reds, your oranges, your yellows, stimulating. Greens, blues, purples, magentas, relaxing, but blue also means trust, which is why a lot of corporate clients or corporate brands use blue. Your banks, your insurance companies, Blue Cross, they use blue because it means trust, right? Your neutral colors, comfort, relaxing too. Your nudes, your whites, calming colors. So again, think about your brand and what mood you want to invoke when people come in contact with your brand and base your colors off of that. Okay, see a question, yes.
For your messaging, when you have the simplified messaging, some people or sites or blogs suggest you use all hashtags possible. Others are saying they don't even matter anymore.
Hashtags are different than the actual paragraphs that people put. Now, I do agree with that. You want to go 1,000 with the hashtags, go ahead. But also, what you can do is put the hashtags in the comments versus on the post as well. So if you run out of characters, like I think Instagram only allows like 20 hashtags, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a few more, but you can put those hashtags in a comment and it's still on that same post.
Yeah, but does it actually bring views? Does it actually bring more people? Because with Instagram is now oversaturated as well. So sometimes doing all those hashtag this, hashtag that, Black woman, evolve, blah, 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 it doesn't get seen because it's just thrown out. So it looks kind of like, please see me. So instead of that, some people don't do any hashtags now, and it looks like they're getting the same response.
Right, now that I cannot speak on. I ain't gonna never speak on something I'm not sure of. That's one thing about me. But I will say it's worked for me. I went to it's an event called the Polo Classic. They have one in, I believe, London, and they have one in New York. I went to the New York event, right? And normally I plan out all my content. That moment, I said, you know what, I need to post something live just to test this and just to see how this is gonna work. I use all of the hashtags that they had, plus some affiliate hashtags. When I ran out, I did put it in the comment section. And that post made it to blogs. It made it to Pinterest. I was on Pinterest, okay, as a post that I didn't post, right? So I think it depends. And I would say try it out to see what works for you. There are a lot of gurus, a lot of specialists, a lot of brand whatevers that will give you some really, really good advice. I say take it and try it. If it doesn't work for you, go with the next thing.
Can I say something really quick? I don't know
Sure.
if y'all can hear me. So just to let people know what I do, I'm a data scientist, and I used to do it for a marketing company. And it's different words. I know you familiar with this SEO and all that different stuff.
Yeah.
That's just another word. That's just another way of the hashtags. Yes, the hashtags works. And as a data scientist, literally, if certain sites that you can put in for keywords or even on your website, it does work. And now it is a max. Like I think the number is between 7 to 10 hashtags
Got it.
perform the best. Now maybe 20, then at that point you start to water it down.
Right.
But I think the number is, I'm not sure, but I think the number on Instagram is 7 to 10 hashtags get you the most like exposure. Because then if you got 15, now it's watered down. But then if you got 3 or 4, it's not enough. So I did just want to say there is data science that does back that up. So you are correct, PJ. That is correct. They do work. Now I don't know. Oh, 20. I don't know. 20 is a lot. You could be correct though. But I know there is a actual science to it, and it is numbers that back that up.
Yeah. So to your point, I think within that 20, I might have had a strong 7 that worked. So I'm agreeing wholeheartedly. I completely agree. But yeah, the hashtags, they really did work, but I think that worked more than just a long paragraph of information as a caption. I don't subscribe to that. I think captions should be simple, to the point, leave a call to action, and let the post do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, PJ,
Okay?
that's a great point, because the caption and the hashtags are very different. And to your point, that you see people telling whole stories in their captions and a whole bunch of hashtags. Like nobody's reading that. Like, they're just not. If you got that much to say, then go do a newsletter, go do a blog post if it's that important.
Go do a newsletter. I agree. I completely agree. So my 3 font rule, and let me zoom back out. So my 3 font rule, again, headline font, something bold and robust that's going to get their attention. A complementary font could be something fun, no problem. But your basic font should be medium in width and thickness, nothing too thin, because again, that's the font that's going to have your information, like your important information, your contact information, your social media handles, your Cash App, whatever it is, that's important information that you don't want people to miss. Okay. So again, headline, complimentary, and basic. If you are the type of person you're like, well, no, I want to be creative and my creativity can't be contained, and you want to use 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fonts, I promise you people gonna keep scrolling, because now I don't know what to look at. You're forcing your audience to compete or to decide, like, okay, what to look at first. You don't want confusion when it comes to your brand. You want clarity. Okay? You want clarity. So I'm going to give an example. All right, so this was such a fun project for me. So the project this was for a wonderful organization here in Philadelphia, for the love of Black girls. Okay, and it's from the Uniquely You Summit. The owner's name is Shalia Sutton. Huge organization. Girls from all over are a part of this particular organization. So she called me last year and she said, PJ, we're in this digital space. Normally I have this huge event and we normally do this in person. The fact that this is digital, I have no idea what to do. She said, I had no idea how to market. I don't know what I don't know what I want it to look like. I need your help. I need your guidance for this event. So I was like, this is my specialty. Let's start this. Okay. So we had a meeting and she told me that she wanted things to just be beautiful. She said, I want it beautiful. I want it colorful. I want it beautiful. And I want it to appeal to my target audience. I want it to appeal to girls, specifically Black girls. That's what, or girls of color. But yeah, that's what she said. So this is what we came up with for her. And again, everything was digital. So that's why you see the flyer on the iPad. We had, the keyboard in there, the phone, because again, we wanted to constantly remind people this is digital. Normally you are in person for this event, but this year, being though it's 2020 and we're in the middle of a pandemic, it is a digital event. I wanted to use high resolution images of women from all types because she's also big on evolution. Okay, so I wanted to go from the smallest of girls to adults to some teenagers as well. I wanted to show the variety, and imaging is important because it lets people know who it's for. So if I was a parent and I saw this, I would say, you know what? My daughter is the age of the smaller girl on the side. Or I can say, my daughter is 20. She might could be a part of this as well. It might be something for her. So I was very intentional about using that. You see 3 fonts. I think I used 2 fonts, actually, 3 fonts on here. The colors, she wanted them to be girly, but she didn't want to use the regular pink and purples and blues and stuff. So I say, okay, let's go with some more fresh, a fresh approach. Let's do your peaches and your oranges and your greens. This was at the top of spring too, so we was in the middle of like winter being over and then spring. So I wanted to use colors that made sense. But this particular campaign, when she put this out, I'm guessing I did good because it landed me a lot of jobs. Okay, specifically, it landed me a major gig with Amanda Seales. I'm not sure if you know who she is, but Amanda Seales is huge actress, activist. She does a lot, but this particular event, the artwork from this event, she called me and said, "Hi, did you do this?" I said, "Absolutely. What do you need?" She said, "So I really love this. How can I work with you?" Like instantly. So that's the power of visuals. It shouldn't, I don't have to go out and say, "Look at me, look at this. Hi." That's not selling to me. That's being desperate. I put this out, the organization put it out, and it did what it needed to do. Okay? Content should do what you need it to do by itself. By itself. Okay? So I wanted to just give that example. Don't complicate your content. Please keep it simple. Keep it simple. I know I keep reiterating that, but that's I really want to drive that home. People should not associate your brand with confusion and uncertainty. And we know some brands, whether it's a personal brand or a brick and mortar, that people associated with confusion and uncertainty. That's not what it is. You need brand clarity. Okay? You need brand clarity. So, number 4, still images and motion graphics. We talked about this a little earlier, but still images, yes, they work. But motion graphics, again, if somebody is scrolling and they see movement, they're going to stop. They're going to stop if they see movement. If it's a still image like the last 10 that they saw, you'll probably get lost in the shuffle. Okay, I'll probably get lost in the shuffle. So it might be good for you to develop, and I wish that I had an example of a motion graphic here, because you're going to start seeing them more and more. You're going to start seeing these like live flyers. I'm not sure if you've seen them already, but they're still images, but they still got movement to them. It's music in the background, and it might have some kind of effects around it or something. You're going to start seeing more motion graphics when it comes to your still images, your still flyers. Okay. Yes.
This is something that's becoming more prevalent on Canva. Those of you that use Canva, on Canva, it's called animation, that you can actually pick an animated flyer. So I just wanted to add that to what PJ is talking about. You're seeing more of the motion graphics coming out now.
Yes. So incorporate that within your content. I promise it just makes it pop. It makes it fun. Okay. Still images, videos, and to my point earlier, call to actions. Tell people what to do. If you don't tell them, they will not know. A lot of times, you might know, but for somebody else, they might translate it completely. You're like, wow. All I did was say, if you said, "Hello, Tanya," and one person said, "That was so nice of you." Another person said, "You had an attitude when you said that." I'm like, wow, how did you hear that? And the other person heard something polite. It's the same principle. So you have to tell people what to do. "Hi, Tanya, could you come in for a minute? I would like to talk to you." That's a call to action. You're going to move. You're going to do something specific after that because you've asked them to do it. All right? You've asked them to do it. So again, bring your visuals to life. Still images, yes. Videos, yes. Motion graphics, yes. And don't forget those call to actions, okay? Last point. Excite the senses. Y'all, I am a huge believer in the 5 sense rule when it comes to branding, okay? What does that mean? Number one, what is pleasing to the sight? Does it look good? Did that catch my attention first? Because sometimes you don't have the opportunity to talk to somebody. They only go by what they see. Okay? Did it excite the sight? Am I excited to look at it? Okay? One thing that you got to incorporate in your brand is unique selling points. Okay? People will see the unique selling point. They might hear it or taste it or whatever, the other senses, but I'm a firm believer in seeing a unique selling point. And what do I mean? I used to have a specific hairstyle and I always kept it like a fade on the side, right? I kept a fade and I kept like a little box up there, right? Always had it shape up. I loved it. People knew me for that hairstyle. The older I got, right? The older I got and my hair started leaving me. Maybe some people can't understand that. Live a little longer, okay? Once my hair started leaving me, I said, I got to do something else because that box is getting lower and lower and lower because my hair is leaving me. I got into hats about 10 years ago and I never looked back. So now when people look for me, even if it is a concert, if it's a crowd of people, they will say, I saw the blue hat and I knew it was PJ. That's a unique selling point, okay? It's something very specific that people think of, that people know you by, and they can identify your brand by that unique selling point, okay? Janelle Monáe, singer, whom I love, she wears black and white often. There's a story behind it. She wears black and white because she pays homage to her parents who were maids and service workers when she was younger. So that's her uniform, right? It's a unique selling point, and more than anything, it's a conversation starter. So you got to figure out, if you don't have unique selling points within your business, figure out what those things are and figure out just what you do naturally. It might be right in front of you and you're missing it. Okay.
And can I add a point to that real quick? Because
Sure.
it just resonated. And I know this is gonna sound real nerdy, but I work at a comic book shop too. And there's a story that came out called Far Sector introducing the new Green Lantern. It's a Black woman, super awesome. And the visual is literally Janelle Monáe.
Wow.
So
Yes.
And it's great because you can even associate her playlist and her music like with that character, even as you're reading it. So it makes you want to get more issues and you want to keep following up. And now that story has concluded, now Green Lantern, now that she's part of this big group of Green Lanterns, now everybody's going to buy those issues because she's in it and they think about Janelle Monáe. And I thought that was a great, like, I read it and I was like, I mean, the story is great, but also Janelle Monáe is like this entire comic. And so it just made me want to purchase it more. And I think that's a brilliant thing to think about. Like, what are people associating now this new Green Lantern with? Oh, well, something pop culture that a lot more people can resonate with. So
yes.
I just thought I had a nerdy note there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And to your point, it did nothing but add another layer to her brand. This time 5 years ago, you wouldn't think of comics and think of a soul R&B singer, right? I mean, technically, but you get what I'm saying. I love that point that you added to that. But unique selling points are very important. So what is pleasing to the site? Second, what are they hearing? What's in your video content, right? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you confident when you show up? What do people hear when they come in contact with your brand? And guess what? It goes beyond just business. Let's keep it simple. Are you nice to people? Let's keep it simple. Are you nice to people? At networking events, are you approachable? Right? Or do people hear you talking to potential clients in a certain way? All of that stuff matters. So don't think it's just what you put out yourself. No, what do people experience when they hear you? Okay. 3, touch. Is there something tangible, a product? Do you have a product that it will follow your sales funnel? Do you have a product that will now speak for you in the absence of you, in your absence? Do you have a product that people have in their possession, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a manual helping people learn how to translate, whether it's a kid's book? Does your product coincide with what you've been putting out? Okay. Smell. Is there a specific fragrance that is associated with your brand? My best friend has a candle company, September Home Fragrance Decor. If you love candles, I'm not just saying this because she's my best friend. This is the best candle line better than Bath and Body Works. I know we get crazy over them 3-wick candles. Okay, I know we do. But this particular candle line, it's doing so well because it's so saturated. You don't even have to light the candle in your home or wherever you are. You can just keep the lid off and your entire atmosphere is bomb. Okay, that particular brand smell is what's going to excite the person. Even when she's vending, she has the oils from the candles burning, so it leads you to her vending station, right? Not only is that a unique selling point, she's exciting a senses, okay? Taste. Sometimes taste is specific to, restaurant brands or culinary brands, food brands. We get that. But if you have an event, the food got to be right or people might not come back. It's important. It's an element, right? So again, what we see, what we hear, what we touch, what we smell, and what we taste. If you think about your 5 senses from a brand perspective, you will create some really good content. Okay? Really good content. So, in conclusion, number 1, develop good content so it can foster good results. And guess what? Good content takes on a life of its own. All right? 2, people connect with what looks good and what is authentic. Do not try to be somebody or something that you are not, because people can spot a fake a mile away. Be authentic and be you. It will land where it needs to land. Okay? 3, proper preparation prevents poor production. Proper preparation prevents poor product. Whatever P word you want to put there, put it. Production, product, placement, prepare. Okay? 4, your social media following is not the end all be all. Be impactful. Okay? Your social media following is not the end all be all. Be impactful. And last but not least, I told you I like to laugh. Make that money. Don't let it make you. Okay, that's my last point. So I hope that you found something in this presentation that helped you. It motivated you to want to do better, want to build better content, just want to open up your mind to the amazingness that you are and that you possess. Because I feel like every so often we just need a push in the right direction, or a push to just say, you know what, you're headed in the right direction. And today I wanted to be that push, because you showing up here and being present honestly was just amazing in itself. But I hope that what I presented to you, you can apply to your businesses and to your life so you can see a greater return.
Woo woo. PJ, that was fire, man. The chat is blowing up. We've been putting
I want to see the chat. I want to talk to people.
The chat is blowing up. We've been putting some really great resources in there.
Yeah.
Angela, we've been following each other on Instagram, the Twitter.
Yeah.
It has been really, really going great. So I just want to. We've got probably about another 10 or 15 minutes. If anybody else wants to share anything, if anybody wants to ask PJ any other questions,
yeah, please do.
Let's have a little bit of a conversation. Maybe you got a specific brand question. I know for me, P, the thing that you said about the colors,
Mm-hmm.
and how you changed for the love of Black girls. I know, Sheree, I know the young lady that created that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have her events when she was first doing Uniquely You back in, back in the day when we had girlification.
Nice.
And the colors are so important. And it's interesting what you said, because I'm in that space. I'm gonna probably be getting with you about about Mom Your Business, because I'm
Yeah.
in that space, because I think when you have a female brand, you tend to get stuck in those pinks and those purples,
you
and
don't
really
have
get
to
a
at
little
all.
afraid with trying some other colors.
Yeah.
There's a color chart that I look at often that shows you, with the browns and the golds and what each one of those browns, like with UPS and
Yep.
Apple, and there's a whole color chart that kind of tells you what those different colors represent. So if
Yes.
you could kind of speak to that a little bit more, I think that's really important, that understanding those colors. And somebody put a link in the chat to the meaning of colors as well.
Yeah,
But it's
absolutely.
important.
And don't, everybody on here, if you have a business or you're thinking about building a business, you have one, don't be afraid to brand, and don't be afraid to rebrand.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of that. There's power in rebranding.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
Yeah.
I started this work in 2007, and it was called, my company was called the Kingdom Agency, right? The Kingdom Agency, it was good, but it was specifically for design. And I'm like, I could do so much more. Like I'm losing money, I'm losing connects because my branding was not right. I thought it was, but it wasn't. September 1st of 2015, that's when I rebranded to Muse Branding and Development Agency. Branding and development. The development helped what I'm doing now. The development validated my courses, my workshops, all of that stuff. The design is still there, but there's more, right? So I had to intentionally rebrand myself, my services, how I looked, and everything. And then it worked. From that moment on, inbox ain't never been dead. I promise. So don't be afraid to rebrand. I use black and white is my, what's crazy? I didn't even realize I had on, this is the same. Like if you look, yeah. Black and white is my brand color. I'm gonna tell you why I use black and white. Black and white is timeless and they'll never go out of style, just like the brands that I'm trying to build, that I'm building, not trying to, I am. Just like the brands that I'm building, the brands that I'm trying to help you build. It's timeless and it will never go out of style. I have black and white because it goes with every color on the spectrum. So that represents the people and the community that I want to work with. There's always a narrative. Pink wouldn't work with me, okay? Black, white, and yellow is the color scheme for my education division of the company. So this book, Believe Build Brand, which is my first book, that's why this particular branding was black, white, and the yellow. But you will always see what? Black and white. In everything I do, you'll see black and white. I wear black and white often. My page, I design in it for the company, but it makes a difference when you are cohesive and consistent with the colors that you put out. If you keep changing stuff, people will not be able to connect with you. That's over and over again. It's okay to rebrand, but you cannot rebrand 5 times in 1 year.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You cannot keep changing the colors 5 times in 1 year. Now, the caveat to that is if it is breast cancer awareness and you want to change your branding for that month to pink, that's fine because it's for a cause. But the brand logo never changes. Right? If you wanted to do something for AIDS Awareness Month and you want to do all red, that's different. But you're not changing the colors of your company. You have to stay consistent so people can connect with you.
There are a couple hands up,
Okay.
PJ. So let's get to someone who has a question.
I do. I actually had a question about rebranding, and thank you so much for getting into that, because I was wondering if you are going to attempt to rebrand, should you go into your social media and just erase everything and start from scratch, or should you still keep that content? What's your suggestion?
Yeah, so here's what I did, because the Olivia Pope in me, I don't know if we have any scandals. The Olivia Pope in me loves a spin. I love a spin, right? So the more the newer content, the more I put up new content, I deleted old content, right? But I do like to show narrative. I like to show where I came from, because there was one time an investor I was talking to an investor, and he wanted to see like a chronological order of how I did things. And I'm like, I don't know what to show because I really have all new content. And then it dawned on me, my Instagram shows where I came from. So that validated that conversation. So I like to show, the whole point of Instagram is chronological order of a pictorial narrative of our life anyway. So I think some stuff you can keep, the majority. If it doesn't feed the rebrand, get rid of it. But as you put up new content, definitely do away with the old content because it doesn't serve you any purpose. And then what you can do is you can get clever and repurpose some of that old content. So you can take some of that content and make it a post. Listen, this time 2 years ago, I posted this. Here's where I am today. We're not the same. Make that an inspirational post. But I think the more that you post your new content, rid your page and flush your social media of all of the old stuff, especially if it has nothing to do with what you're building now. It just, yeah.
That's great.
So
And PJ, just to add on to that, like how often should you be purging your content?
I do so often. It depends on how anal you are, because there are times when, no, it was a specific time I went back to just say, okay, I don't know who I was mad at. I was mad at somebody. Because this has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with anything I'm building. Somebody pissed me off. So let's delete that. Rid yourself of that. But again, if it can be a part of the narrative that you are building, I would say keep it. And once you look back at it, you'll know, like, okay, you know what? This doesn't really serve me any purpose. So I would say do an assessment like once a month, just to look to see what you have and what needs to like just delete it forever. Don't even archive it. Just delete it. We need to just get rid of this energy altogether. I see another hand.
Yeah, Samuel, you had a question or comment? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. That was extremely informative. Branding is something that I don't understand, so this is really awesome. I have a question about like social media and tying it into, say, like a mobile app or like sort of like business ads. I know when you're on Instagram, you see like ads for certain like mobile applications that you can then like click on and go to download. How important is it to have like an Instagram page that like makes that accessible, and is the aesthetic, like with the colors and the senses and all of this like stuff that's important, relate to getting someone to actually click on that ad that pops up when they're going through Instagram stories or certain things like that? Yeah,
it's very important. And again, that speaks to the call to action piece that we talked about earlier. I think all of that will make more sense once you actually plan out your content and figure out which post deserves the, swipe up here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you might want to actually connect with, I think his name was Andre, who was talking earlier. He might be able to speak to this more as well. So that might be a good connect for you. But you might have to have a certain amount of followers to do certain actions within the platform. So that might matter as well. So I think if you have like 10K or something, it allows you to do different things. But as far as like the swipe ups, the ads, the in-post ads and stuff, like all of that stuff. So I think you can do it on Facebook and Instagram from the same portal, if I'm not mistaken. But I think all of that is important, but you will only know how to execute it when you sit and plan out your content. So for instance, next month, your content for September really should be done. September 1st should never come, and we're planning content for that month. I always like to do stuff a month out just to give myself ease and peace of mind. I never like to wake up and figure out again, what should I post today? I like to make sure that I have, everything planned out. And apps like Planoly and, it's a couple others.
I'm using something called Tailwind, which I like a lot. Tailwind is really good.
Yeah, it helps you plan out your content. So once you sit and figure out, okay, every 3 posts needs to have this specific call to action, because every post should not be salesy.
Right.
You should, that is not good. And a lot of times you'll see somebody's always selling. You're always selling and you're never giving back. So you got to figure out which, again, give intention to each post. One post is going to be informative. The second post is going to be humorous. Third post is going to be salesy. Fourth post is going to be informative. You know, you can even use that as a pattern for your page. But I think planning out your content will allow you to know where to insert all of the elements that you just asked about.
So like, sorry, just to follow. So you think it's okay to have posts at the ready for certain milestones that we hope to hit? So that way when something does happen, you're already prepared ahead of time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That is, it's ideal. And if you're doing that, keep doing it, because I'm telling you, the more that your business grows and the more content you put out, you're going to get more relationships, you're going to get more connections. That what you're doing now, you're building healthy habits.
Okay.
Because once the business comes, you don't want to realize, oh my God, like I have a lot of bad habits and I wasn't ready for this, you know, influx of clientele. So you want to make sure that you are also tracking which posts are performing best. That's important. So if you look to see, okay, I posted this at 9 p.m. on Monday night. This all seems to always do well. You might want to do more of that. And along with your call to actions and your in-app calls to all of that stuff, you'll see a significant return.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Jonah, with the last question as we get ready to wrap up.
So 2 quick things. One, do you meet with people one-on-one? Is there a way we could schedule with you?
For sure. I have my content page right here because I really do want to connect with all of you. First, my first book is available, Believe, Build, Brand. This book is specifically for individuals who are starting the process of branding or you're in the middle of a rebrand. And it teaches you how to do this in a healthy way. I not only care about the brand, I care about the person. Personally, I care about the person, because once you are healthy, you are then able to build healthy brands. Okay, so please support the book. I really think it can help. To your point, hold on, I'll come back to that because I told you I have a clothing line, right? Yeah, musebrandingagency.com. You can see all of my collection. It's really good. Not to say that because it's mine. This is my connect page. Please follow me on IG, Facebook, YouTube. I do follow back. I do talk back. I do interact. Okay. So please follow me on all of your social platforms. My website is musebrandingagency.com, where you can find all the links for consultations, one-on-one sessions. This is a great time that you're connected with me because I am launching Muse EDU this fall, and I'm really excited about that. So all of my trainings, courses, will be housed on Muse EDU come this fall. Also, you can join my text community. You can text Muse to 474747 and become a Muse insider and get all of the goodness first before stuff gets sold out. So
I know you had to I'm definitely following up on scheduling something with you. The side question was, in the same way Anade said what he does, I'm a visual artist, but I've developed an app for artists.
Wow.
So I'm trying to sport 2 brands. I'm trying to brand myself as an artist while also trying to brand my business as something separate. Mm-hmm. And I know I just have to double up on the work and the content. Mm-hmm. But for me personally, do you have any advice on, because my personal page is that's where I share my art, my life, everything. Yeah. Is there a way to take that and, so if I do a bunch of different things, how can I share what I'm doing without confusing my audience, basically?
That's the question.
How can I get structure, not even structure, but let them know I'm doing it.
Totally get it. So you're like me, you're a multi-creative. You have multiple talents, multiple gifts, no problem. You are the brand and everything you do is entities of you, right? So on my page, when I get back in studio, when I get back to certain things, you'll see more music stuff. You'll see design stuff. You'll see advice. You see everything that has something to do with PJ Owens, because that's how I promote and market myself. I am a content curator, brand strategist, author. I'm all of those things. So now in your bio, when you have all of these things, you have the work to validate the titles. A lot of times you see the bios on Instagram and it's like 1,000 titles and the people don't post nothing concerning what's in the bio. That is very weird to me. Not only that, you're a liar. At the end of the day, you're a liar. Okay, you're a liar. So we don't want that. We want to make sure that everything that is in that heading, I am boom, 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 that there is evidence, there is fruit on your feed and from the content you're producing. So I think it's intentionally telling people who you are. So if I were, what's your name, Jonah? Jana. So if I say, Jana, how are what's your name and what do you do? Answer that question for me.
Well, Instagram, Jay Taylor. I'm a visual artist, and I am starting a tech startup, a interactive platform for visual artists to sell their work.
Got it. So that makes sense to me. So now when I go look you up, there should be evidence of what you just told me.
Got you.
Got it? So get into the habit of intentionally telling people who you are and intentionally telling people who you are not.
What if you do poetry and want to do a YouTube and everything else
well,
too?
See, now you got to pick and choose. You can't give them too much now. You see what I'm saying? But also be smart in it. Figure out how to incorporate the poetry as you're creating.
True.
Like figure out how one gift or one talent can scratch the back of another. Think of it as a family. Like, don't think of it as so many separate things. Think of it as a family and work together in a healthy way. And if one entity makes money, the other will make money.
True.
For instance, if you come to a PJ Owens show, I guarantee you within the next 5 years, it's going to be a booth with some hats. I promise you. And it's going to be a booth with some books. And it might be an audio book and I might be singing next to the book. I don't know, but it all has something to do with me. So it's all going to make sense. You know what I'm saying? So just figure out how to intentionally and just merge everything together in a healthy way. Let it be a marriage. It needs to be cohesive.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But please, guys, please, I am PJ Owens. I guarantee you, some days you might cry, some days you might laugh. You're gonna laugh probably every day. But Instagram, I love IG. I love my IG stories. But at I am PJ Owens is my personal page. At Muse Brand Online is the business page. YouTube, Muse Brand TV. Join the text community and also my website if you wanted to book a one-on-one today. Okay.
Wonderful. Woo, woo. Thank you so much, PJ. That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
This was a really great session. I know folks are going to be touching base with you. You can expect an email from me in the next day or two.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, for those of you, if you want to get the chat with some of the resources that we shared, and contact information to follow each other, we put that all in the chat. All you have to do is hit the 3 dots on the bottom by where you would enter into the chat. You hit those 3 dots and you can actually copy the chat roll. You'll have it all right there. So thank you all again.